Illuminati, Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, Human Being American, and YouTube Ronin, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Reserved Seats. Do want to start off by saying hello to everyone currently joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. All right, the first one here, Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. Jamie Lynn Simons has joined us. The voice of Northern Oklahoma, the tired midnight blogger, Curtis Selby. Channel member, JPRPH1. Bringing the Geeky Geezers raid and Netters Network. And Troy Pacelli has joined us as well. Geeky Geezers raid on X. You can't see me. Well, I can see you now. Right on. All right. So, my guest for this evening is waiting patiently backstage. So let's not waste any time and bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, the most popular man on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Al presents.
Thank you. You know, be seated, everyone. You know, keep the applause going.
But you can be please seated. Sit. It's okay. It's all good. Thank you. Thank you. No. You're too kind.
Yeah, Troy saying you can't see him on X lies. It's like, I know. I see you, and you need to get your hands off where you've got them.
Uh-oh. All right. All right. Well, Al, thank you again for taking the time out of your schedule to join me for the show this evening.
I'd just be sleeping if I wasn't here. So no, that's fine. You know, I'm glad you invited me on. It's nice to do this every once in a while. Kind of have a nice little chat to see what's going on in the world and how we all feel about it.
Indeed. But sleep is good.
Yeah, sleep is good. But you know, I'll just wake up a little later in the morning. That's fine.
Right on. And also joining us, the host of Geeky Geezers, co-host of Live from Sparkwood 21 and Friday Night Last Call, Aged Boomer. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Boomer. Got to get with me about Robin Hood.
Oh, yes. Yes, you and Boomer are getting close to the end of your Robin of Sherwood run, the Showtime series.
Yeah, it'd be a few more watches for a while, but we do them so infrequently that it's still a good ways away. It's always nice to get around and doing it and visiting Sherwood once and again, and you get a couple people asking when the next one's going to be. I was like, well, that's up to Boomer.
Yeah, that's a show that wouldn't hurt to go back and rewatch. I believe, if I remember correct, Amazon is carrying it right now.
Yeah,
If I recall. It's on one of
it's
yeah.
it's on YouTube too.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. You can find them on
You
YouTube.
have to go there for it. Right on. And
Yeah,
so,
it's a good series, and
mhm.
kind of came up a few weeks ago when we lost Maura Brennan, the lead singer of Clannad, who of course the group that did all the music for the series.
Mhm.
So it's kind of sad, we lost her. Such a beautiful voice, such a great music for that show. Love it. There's a 40th anniversary DVD, CD out for it, and I was like, man, I kind of like looking to get in hold of that. Didn't know about it until I saw something about it the other day.
Oh, cool. So is that going to be on off the website, or is it going to be a wide release? Or
I saw a picture of it. Someone had it, just I think it was on the Robin or Sherwood Facebook site. And I was like, I didn't know that thing existed. So I just haven't looked into it yet. I keep forgetting to until I think about it, and I just thought about it. I hadn't thought about it for a while. But just one of many things that I would like to get my hands on, but just happened to think about it because we were talking about it.
I've got to get my mind around the fact that that's a 40-year-old show now. Oh man.
Well, we were watching down Periscope the other night, and it was what 30
96
years?
Yeah, so 30 years.
It's like man. It's like we were babies. It's like we were babies when that was out. And then I think back, it's like, no, I was 31 when that came out. I'm just that old. You'd be 61 this year.
Yeah.
Well, in a few weeks, actually.
And Tim, a fan of the Robin Hood watch parties.
Yep.
Right on.
Yep. I think Tim's in England, I believe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've always got into that show with some friends of mine, of course, when we were in college. My friends in college, and we were the ones who did the medieval recreation, the D&D, my D&D games, all that other stuff. It was that group, so we loved fantasy. So, and when Robin Hood was out, it was kind of big with all of us.
Oh, East Coast of the. Now, I was always under the impression you were in England as well, Tim. But okay.
Oh, East Coast. I always
he's closer than we thought.
Yeah, I don't know why. Kind of always read as like being in Great Britain. Or have you ever been in Great Britain? Are you just an Anglophile? Maybe. He looks very British. He looks very British. No, I've always, always liked England and things like that. Always wanted to go there. Always wanted to go to the site for the Battle of Hastings and just lay on the field where they had the fight. Just look up in the air, going, all those years ago, there's like some poor Saxon dude laying here looking up just like this, going, why did I do this?
So, any thoughts on this Death of Robin Hood movie that's coming up with Hugh Jackman?
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see it. I really haven't seen much about it except for the picture. I think there was a trailer, right? Or am I?
There's been a trailer, yes.
Yeah, I have to check that out again. Because when I think the Death of Robin Hood, I'm like, it's been done. Robin and Marion. So it'll be be interested to see how they do this. Also, Robin of Sherwood, they had the death of Robin Hood. Well, one
Yes,
of
they
the Robin
did.
Hoods.
Well, sort of.
Yeah, sort of, kind of the way, one of them
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, I'll be interested to see it. Hugh Jackman's only is a pretty go-to guy for some decent entertainment. So all depends on how they go about it.
Right. Tim says he has been to London 3 times and will be in Edinburgh in October.
Maybe that's why it's like always going there. Man, God, I'd love to go there. Yeah, but lucky man. Oh, thank you, Curtis. Yep, May 26th. If anybody's wondering, that is my birthday. Same day as John Wayne and James Arness and Peter Cushing and quite a few others.
Mm-hmm. Bill and I were watching The Undefeated earlier today for Western Cinema, and
good fun.
The whole thing came up with that James Arness was originally going to be the Rock Hudson part.
Oh,
but
wow.
he and Wayne didn't get along because Wayne wanted him for a part in The Alamo. And I guess Arness turned him down or just never got back to him on it. And it became like this beef between the two of them.
Don't say no to the Duke, man. Just don't. John Wayne, man. That would have been awesome to work with John Wayne. I would definitely call him back.
The ironic thing is that when they did the Alamo made for TV miniseries, which was actually also had like Alec Baldwin in like an early role, and he was still doing television. And it's James Arness is a Nat version of The Alamo, which I thought was fun. And if I remember correctly, I think Raul Julia is in that as well, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, he plays Santa Ana, right?
Santa Ana, yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen. I've got to like reacquaint myself. It's hard to watch it, because of the outcome. I mean, it's like it's inspiring and all, but still, it's kind of a rough watch.
It's grim. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like wow. It's like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the 300. It's like the American version of the 300.
It is, yeah.
That is exactly what it is. There's a few of those, like, when you get those heroic people standing against all odds. I like a story like that, but it can get a bit,
Hey, well, we were going into this a little bit backstage, where how a person's opinion, different people's opinions on movies could vary. Not only that, but how you sometimes will later on you'll rethink it. And you start to think, oh, could I have gone another, maybe half a star one way or the other, and I'm finding myself getting to the point where I almost don't want to give a movie like a star rating or like any kind of like a score, because I always wind up changing it, going back and changing it and rethinking it. And especially when you're watching the new movies throughout the year, and then it's like, well, which ones are still staying with you 6 months later over, maybe something you might have seen last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could really, really like something, and then it might not really stick with you. But sometimes, like a bad movie could stick with you. It depends on the mood you're in when you're watching it. Depends on just your general overall disposition. Anyway, I mean, everyone knows I am predisposed on the positive side. I go into everything cautiously optimistic, wanting to like it. A lot of people go into something to hate watch it. They hate it immediately. It hasn't even started yet, and they hate it. And I'm like, don't do that. I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to sit and watch a movie I don't want to watch. A part of me is going to. Part of me wants to watch all kinds of. I mean, there are some that I haven't gotten to yet. Let's just say there's some that I'm really anxious to watch, and I'll watch it as soon as I can. And then there are others that I want to watch, but I know I need to be in the right kind of headspace for it. Like Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Yeah,
I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it until I know I'm ready for it, because I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll say that about it. They should have called it Mummified, if you ask me. But
maybe, yeah.
We all know the Mummy is. It's the Mummy. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not a kid.
No.
Call it Mummified.
It's definitely. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really speak to it. But it has its fans.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure. I really haven't read much about it because I try not to. I mean, you eventually do. I mean, as much as we go on YouTube or scan the internet, we're bound to come across something. But I haven't really seen a lot about it. So I'm kind of glad I'm going to go into it fairly open-minded. Where as open-minded as I can be. Like I said, you see something called The Mummy. For me, The Mummy's Boris Karloff or Lon Chaney Jr. And that's
Monster Squad.
Yeah, or Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
That's The Mummy. Karis or Imhotep, the guy, even the new Mummy from can't think of the guy who did it, but the one with Brendan Fraser. That to me, that's The Mummy, because he was that kind of a villain. But you wrap a kid up in bandages and they go missing for X amount of years. It's not The Mummy.
Yeah, now it's become something else.
Yeah, it's something. It's different. I'm not the big, because I have that iconic Universal Monster site that I manage on Facebook. It's like a little thing. I update it once a week for the week, and so to me, those are, Frankenstein's monster, The Mummy, Dracula, the Wolfman, things like that. I saw that new Wolfman movie, not the Benicio del Toro, but that other one a couple years ago. That wasn't the Wolfman.
No,
that Invisible Man movie. It's not the Invisible Man. At least Hollow Man had, the right idea to call it something different. And that was perfectly, in fact, that was more Invisible Man than, it was very close to what a modern day version of that classic story would be. But that Claude Rains, I mean, that's a tour de force performance. I mean, he's basically just vocals.
And hello to the Horror King. Good to see you, sir.
Speaking of horror, hey, how you doing?
Hey. JP says Rust prequel. Yeah, Rust was an interesting watch. I don't know if you ever. I don't remember if you ever got around to
No, I
sitting down and
I
watching
haven't.
that. Rust to me is interesting because it's so tied into kind of my early YouTube career, because when I was starting out was when the shooting on set took place. And at that time, I was doing Saturday Serial with Matt. And Matt, being someone who's worked on film sets and knows all about having to be careful with weapons on set and chain of custody, and he was kind of on the spot with all of that. And we consciously chose at the beginning not to cover it, because we said, let's wait until like all of the facts are out there. So when Bill came to me with, hey, let's do it for Western Cinema, and this was after all of the court cases and everything had been completed, and I had to say I did go into it with some, bless you.
Sorry.
It's okay. I did go into it with some trepidation, because I went, okay, but I reserved the right not to like it, or even if need be, maybe not be there for the entire show, perhaps, so we did it, and I said, and we went through the whole movie. I gave it its due diligence. It's not bad. But there is still this kind of a bit of a pull over it, kind of like watching The Crow for the first time. And The Crow's a good movie, but you still watch it and you still think of what happened on set with Brandon Lee. You can't get away from it.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch a movie that has a lot of baggage. Twilight's in the movie.
Yeah,
tough watch when that particular section. You're like, whew. It's
yeah.
Like I said, The Crow, and I think Russ would be very much like that.
Mm-hmm. And so it's the movie itself is not bad. That's the sad thing, is it's a decent film, but I don't know. I kind of question, should it have been released? It's like, in a way, I'm glad I saw it, because I kind of felt like going from reporting on what had happened on set during filming and then getting to see the finished product. I kind of felt like I was like closing a chapter in my YouTube career, but yeah, it made for definitely an interesting watch. It reminded me a lot of Unforgiven as far as the story was concerned. So it's kind of Baldwin's Unforgiven.
I can see where, I could easily see that. Like, should it have been released? Shouldn't it have been released? I do think ultimately it was probably a good thing to release it. It kind of, it was very much a tragedy, but also a lot of people worked very hard try to put out a very quality product, and
Mhm.
sadly, it'll always carry that scar with it.
Mhm.
But like I said, when someone really puts a lot into a film, it's kind of it's like an artist, something bad happens while you're painting a painting. Sometimes still a piece of art that's been done, even though it may have something, a bad memory to it, or something like that. I know that's not nearly as just trying to think of a an analogy for it. But I might get around to watching it one day. I'm not. A lot of westerns not really has never been a go-to genre for me, and I really need to like catch up on a few. No, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like. In fact, I got one scheduled for later this year, McClintock,
Mhm.
and Murphy's Romance, which is kind of a western, but it's more modern. But yeah, I really need. There's some classic stuff out there I've never seen. I mean, kind of a little embarrassing note here. I've not seen any of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns.
Hmm.
None of them. Now I have seen Unforgiven. I've seen Pale Rider. I've seen The Outlaw Josie Wales, but I have not seen the spaghetti westerns. Seen scenes from them, seen pieces from them, but I've not seen them straight through. And I really need to.
Horror King says, I didn't know that Rust had been completed, let alone released. Yeah, it was a quiet release. It was, I think, last year, I believe, that that Bill and I saw it. And by then it had already kind of hit digital. So yeah, it's finished. It's released. It's out there. They had to recast a couple of parts. Jensen Ackles was originally in the film, and then they had to recast him because they had to get him back to shoot the boys. So yeah, it's out there. You can find it, and I would say watch it and decide for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Well,
what your thoughts on it. Yeah,
that's my view of any film. Ultimately, if you want to watch a film, watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, make up your own mind to it. So I was thinking about doing a new. One of these days, I need to kind of redo a few of my things for videos, like little bumpers and things, which is basically like, I'm just one idiot watching a film telling you what he thinks. If you want to see the film, go see it. If not, don't. I mean, I would try to be a little more eloquent about it.
Yeah.
But
I choose not to, because I had. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because that was about all I had really to say.
Okay. Sorry. I did this member stream with Troy. A couple people in the chat might remember this, and we watched Tenet, and I called that show Tenet explained by an idiot, and I'm the idiot, because it was just like, I know it's impenetrable for some people, but it's like, I think I get it. So if there's so I think I kind of help things along a little bit by being there, but yeah.
So I mean, sometimes sometimes you watch a film like you watch a film like, what do Well, okay. Case in point, a couple weeks ago when we watched The Fountain,
Mm-hmm.
I was completely lost on that. I didn't know
You
what
were?
was going
Okay.
on. I mean, I kind of got it. I think I know maybe sort of what was
Yeah.
going on. But that was a
I think
trippy
I get it.
film.
It is. It really is. You
I'm
know.
like, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's in a bubble now? What's going on? I mean, I'm all for
That's the part
timey-wimey.
that throws you. Yeah. It does get timey wimey. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
it's really bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like one of those films where you're like, it's either the most brilliant thing I've ever seen, and I'm just dumb, or they just like smoked a lot of weed and
I
did a
think it's a
film.
little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really get this. I mean, well shot. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff about it,
Oh yeah.
but just the message, just the story. Just I was like lost in it, and we're doing the rewatch when you try to at least do some kind of commentary throughout. You just talking, but just at least on films with friends, that's the point. Your friends, just friends sitting there watching a film, talking about whatever, even if it isn't the film. But you're watching that, you're like trying to pay attention, and it's like I don't know really what to say right now. I'm just like watching it, going, "Why is she a tree?"
Yeah. It does get very.
It's very meta.
Yeah, meta. Yeah. Okay. It does get very metaphysical. And because it's like, okay. Because all right. For those of you who don't know, who aren't familiar with The Fountain, it's Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz. And there are I would say probably 3 different timelines going on during the course of the film.
Yeah.
And they play different people throughout these timelines. And so my question,
But do they play?
but do they
people?
exactly?
That's
Are
the
they
whole
the
thing.
same? Are they the same people? Is it reincarnation? She's writing this book. How much of it is the book? It's kind of it does play with your head in that way. And I'm watching it and I go, I think I get it, but I might need a rewatch on it to be sure.
I would have to rewatch it again just to know it. Or is it just, Hugh Jackman's character sitting in the basement dropping some acid? It just has this weird dream. I mean, it could be a number of interpretations.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about a movie.
I think that's the fun about it. Yeah. It works on different levels. And
you get movies like that really make you think. And then you have movies like Down Periscope. That's just
it's silly.
It's a silly fun. It's exactly what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. I think the one movie that I knew threw a lot of people, and everybody thought it was either a masterpiece or like the worst movie of all time. Was another Darren Aronofsky movie, Mother. And
Jennifer
Lawrence. And I actually was kind of leaning towards the masterpiece section with that one, because it's like, I get it, because it is working on all of these levels, because you've got, Genesis and Revelation going on. You've got basically this whole relationship story where she's married to this celebrity and how she's beginning to feel like she's fading into the background the more popular that he gets. And then you have the whole environmental thing that is woven through it, that they don't hit you over the head with, but it's there, in the fact that you have this very beautiful, pristine house that's supposed to be the earth, and as more people are beginning to populate this home, they start to wreck it more and more. And and then
I never saw it, so
it's an intense movie, but I think it's working on all of these levels. It's like, oh, I get it. I get what he's going for here. And I think with The Fountain, he was kind of trying to do some of the same themes. But yeah, like I said, it's all one's perception. What could be a perfect film for someone else will go, it's like, oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. But so there you go.
To each his own.
To each his own. So yeah, I think about it more now. Because I am no longer just this guy who goes to the movies just to go to a movie.
You're not? I mean, I've lost all faith in you now.
Darn it. Oh no. I've lost him. I've lost the crowd. What do I do? Yeah, but that's kind of the thing. It's like I have eyes on me now. And so it's like I have something here on YouTube that I didn't used to have, and that's people who value my opinion, or at least seem to have come to value my opinion, and I'm not used to that. I am used to in life to people going, yeah, well, we don't care what you think, so what, so I'm not used to people like asking me, hey, what did you think, and people genuinely asking that question and waiting for an answer. I'm not used to that. I'm still not used to it. But so I feel like I don't know. I got to be a little bit more careful about what I say. And then not only that, but there's so many things that kind of play into it now, Well,
I remember you talking about you changed because you had changed things because you didn't want people to spend like $15-$20 going to a movie.
No.
That you like, and they hate, or they might not like on a certain level. So it is that your mileage may vary kind of thing. I really, that's why when I like do my little like rant, I say I have the 10-word review, and that's true. Those 10 words are the review, but I do have the rant. I do have a little bit of a ramble I ramble for a couple minutes afterwards, kind of as a clarification or maybe an extra thought or two. But I try never to say, go see this. Or there's only one movie probably in the last 2 years I would actually suggest someone to go see, and that's Project Hail Mary. I think that's the best. I think that's the best film that's been out in the last year, and everything else is, if what I'm saying seems like your kind of movie, you might take the hour and a half or 2 hours and check it out. But ultimately, you don't want to cost people money by just willy-nilly, you know, because you really like something. It's got to be, but it's on people too. I mean, you just don't blindly go into a movie because some idiot on YouTube said it was a decent film, you know, because I like some weird crap. I mean, as
so
most
do I,
people know,
Yeah.
and you can't. I mean, don't use me as some kind of major authority.
No.
I'm just a doofus with a microphone and a PowerPoint recording, and telling you what he thinks about a movie or a TV show.
Yeah. Because that's one thing that I've noticed in recent times here on YouTube, Monkert, is that I've noticed, and I'll use Jeremy Jahns as an example because his way of I guess you could say rating a film comes pretty close to mine, and so really so does yours in a way. But I've noticed that he kind of threw in a couple of qualifiers, like rent it or wait for streaming or something like that, and he kind of makes that distinction. And that's when I came, and not only was he doing it, but I started to see a couple of other people start to do it too. And I said, okay, this is the point where I got to start making this distinction. And that once, especially during the okay, whatever you want to call it, the virus of unknown origins or pandemic or whatever. Anyway,
the event.
The event, yeah. Okay. The what I sometimes refer to as the involuntary house arrest was the streaming became a thing, and the problem with that is that the studios started to rely too much on streaming, and that's one of the things that hurt the theaters, is that they kind of trained us to wait for streaming. And the thing that I've noticed are there seem to be more movies that feel like they should have gone straight to streaming instead of going into theaters, and then kind of vice versa, because like we were mentioning earlier in the green room, Frankenstein, that's a movie that should have had a wider theatrical release. Train Dreams was the same way. Corey and I were talking about All Quiet on the Western Front is a movie that should have gotten
that was a good film,
a wider theatrical release.
I mentioned in the thing, I mean, like so totally even off topic, Netflix released a sweet little rom-com called People We Meet on Vacation that had a built-in fan base because of the novel. They would have made a lot more money if they had put that out in the movie theater for a while. And they didn't, but it's still been a big hit on Netflix. But it's like, that was a missed opportunity for some quick cash.
Yeah, and the thing that I find concerning when it comes to right now the Netflix, because Troy and Boomer brought this up earlier on Geeky Geezers, where they were talking about Narnia, because they did the Narnia films as their good old days, and later on in the show they went into the Greta Gerwig Narnia film that's coming up, and the story there was that Netflix wants to put this movie into theaters. They want like a 49-day minimum theatrical run before they stream it. And there's this whole thing with the IMAX, showing the film on IMAX and making the deal with them. That's kind of what the story was about. But Troy brought up something that I was actually thinking, is that Greta Gerwig maybe is not the best person to do a Narnia film. And this kind of sounds sinister, but I don't think he was entirely wrong, because it's what I'm worried about as well. Are they setting that movie up to fail so they can say, oops, we tried and nobody went to go see it, back to streaming, And I'm kind of thinking, wouldn't they be better off with the movies we've mentioned? There's going to be an Extraction 3 coming out with Hemsworth. And I said, wouldn't they be so much better off putting something like that into theaters and using that as the trial balloon to see if that works? And then, I just think they would be so much better off.
You could release almost like if Netflix has gotten the habit of putting something in a theater, even if it's like a 4-week run, even if some people will go, well, it's going to be on Netflix in 4 weeks, I'll just wait then. You're still going to have a few people that are going to be like itching to see Hemsworth, and go and see that. You're still going to have your Narnia fans that are going to want to see it on the big, on IMAX. Yes, it's got to be, you got to see it IMAX. There are some things that a home theater just cannot do. So, yet anyway, I'm give them time. So we'll have our own personal IMAX theaters, or just put on goggles and suddenly we are immersed in the entire picture.
Yeah,
but it is surprising that they don't do it with more, even limited runs. Just try. I guess it's a matter of like the cost effectiveness of it. I guess it would be. I'm kind of waffling now. It would be like cheaper, just like, oh, here's just the DVD of the film, click, and then just people watch it whenever. Just having the digital copy of it instead of having umpteen big cases of the film.
Yeah,
but then just do it. I mean, everything's digital now anyway. Well,
it is
mostly.
But, the thing is I used to think of that as cheating. Watch a movie on digital, or watch it on your computer or something, or the Argy Matey sites, which I do admit from time to time I've used.
1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry.
And
just thinking about Michael. Sorry, thinking about that Michael Jackson movie.
Yeah. And and the thing is, there was a time when that would have been completely anathema to me, because I would think of that as cheating, back in the day, I would avoid, and I kind of admit that in retrospect, I was a bit of a kind of a film snob, because it would be like, okay, a movie went straight to video, I would avoid it, because it was, my thinking would always be, well, what was wrong with it?
All right.
That it couldn't get a theatrical release. Every once in a while, you'd get like this diamond in the rough, but not very often. but it's like now though. I kind of feel you can't really think that way because everything goes from the theaters to streaming so quickly now. That most of the time, that's how I see things. It is on streaming or some other way. Because, all right, I go to the mystery movies. I have a show that I do that's on them. But I mean, aside from, I'm trying to think if has there been any other movie this year aside from Project Hail Mary that I just went to go see on my own.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I can't think of one.
Well, I personally, I can't go to the movie theater because of my, a physical disability.
So it's like, that works for you because that is the way that you kind of have to.
I have to, yeah.
You have to.
I'd love to. I'd love to be able to go to it. I used to love going to the movie theaters and just sitting there and munching on as good as Orville Red microwave popcorn is. It's just not the same as a movie theater. Being at the movie theater, extra butter, please. And but you're right. I remember having straight to video just had a whole different connotation, and now a lot of films are just don't even have a physical release. It's just boom out on digital. It's just out in the ether somewhere. And I know I think Troy and them have discussed about how some films aren't even getting that physical release anymore, which I think is a shame because it's sometimes it's nice to have that. You feel like you got, even though I'll get a movie, even though I have a digital copy of it, it's still nice to have that that physical DVD of it or whatever it may be. Whatever the next stage may be for physical media, if there is one.
Yeah, it's a shame because first it feels like I'm watching the demise of movie theaters. And when I was a kid, that was an event, and every theater had its own vibe to it. And, you would have the art house type theaters, that would be like the Terrace or the Roxy, that would have the art house stuff, the stuff that was like the big Oscar films. You would have Pine Haven, which would have like the Friday the 13th movies or Porky's or something like that, or they would have like the Italian horror movies, the Fulci movies, they would have, you would have, the Fox Theater, which would have like the Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight, and where everybody would dress out and go and see the movie, and it's like all of these theaters that I remember from when I was a kid that kind of just had their own personalities. And then every place now just kind of feels like it's the same.
Box. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cookie cutter.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
and Please.
where I lived, we had 3 theaters in the county. We had the park, uh, the plaza, and one that went through several names. It was the New Theater, then became the Rex. But Park and Plaza were the first run films, and then the Rex had older films. Oh, and best part, they would do doubles. They would have 2 films, like, and you could go in and see both movies, but they were older films, and but each one had had a feel. The Rex, the New Theater, the Rex was an older thing, had painted scrolling on the walls, velvet, accessorized in velvet. Had the upstairs balcony that sadly was shut off eventually because of people being stupid, and but it was that event. When I was 12 years old, you'd go, you'd have dinner at the Chinese restaurant, then you'd go to the park of the plaza and see Star Wars or Smokey and the Bandit, or those were, which was just the perfect evening, and now it's you sit in this little generic shoebox of a theater nowadays. I went to go see Pride and Prejudice back in 2005, and I went to I can't remember what it was, but it was upstate a bit because that film was not going to come down here, and the theater was like 10 by 20, and it just was dinky, and the screen barely as big as a big screen TV is now. Sorry if I rambled.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I miss those nice big things.
Yeah.
Was it the park? It was the park. You can I sat in the front seat of the park theater. Now, this was not well designed because I'm about 4 or 5 feet away from the front wall where the screen is. So I'm literally like looking up. Now, remember that part of Star Wars where the Millennium Falcon just kind of flies out as it's escaping the Death Star?
Mm-hmm.
I got whiplash watching that film like that because I was too close. But it was just this, it was huge, and I don't know, a lot of charm being lost in theaters.
Indeed. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm at a point where I'm frankly nostalgic for the old days, and just it's like, guys, let's just get it together, and
yeah, back in the early 2000s, a friend of mine and I were well, he was the primary guy. We're gonna open a movie theater with a cafe it was going to have a chess theme. It was going to be called the Squire Theater, and we're going to have chess theme in the cafe, and then we're going to have older films, classic films. Sadly, it never happened, but I still to this day like, man, that would have been so fun to have done that. We could have gotten that up and running and going like that. That would just been neat.
Yeah, and I don't mean to go off on like this whole tangent about it, but I don't know. It all just it has this different feel to it now, and it's like it just most movies these days just feel more like content and less like an event, and I want to go back to this. It's an event. This is something that we
Right.
can all go and do.
You go and you wait like an hour in line to get into a
Yeah.
movie. I remember like when E.T. was out. I was first in line, and I was proud as peacock to be first in line for E.T. at that first showing, first night, first in line. But you know, that was like you see a lot of people that from school are all out to go see this brand new movie, and it like you said, it was an event. It was a community activity that everybody would go to. When Creep Show was out, the original Creep Show, the plot, it was the Plaza Theater had on its opening night a special. If you dress up in costume, you get to come in free. Of course, they were very discerning about what they considered dressed up. They really wanted people to dress up. If you just had a little bit of paint on your face, that was not considered good enough to get in. But still, it was neat to sit there and watch a movie and all these people around you are dressed up in horror outfits and things like that. Yeah, you don't see stuff like that anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to ignore the chat. And yes, for those who maybe have not heard, Tales from the Crypt, the original HBO series, ran for 7 seasons, is now on Shudder in its entirety, uncut. So
and spawned a movie.
Yes. So for those of you who were a fan of that show and like to revisit it, Shudder is the place to go.
I always like Tales from the Crypt. I always like Monsters and Tales from the Dark Side too. Those are fun. Friday the 13th, the series. Do you ever watch that?
Yeah, I saw a few of those, and
Roby.
Oh yeah, and I say watch that and see where Warehouse 13 came from, because it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think Friday the 13th was a little more. They would. Warehouse 13 was usually something a little more historically focused, whereas the other one was just like, some weird professor who tried to do, this, and it ended up corrupting this test tube, or, something like that. The haunted test tube.
No.
But yeah, fun show.
Herbert West, White Courtesy Phone.
I like an anthology. I always like the anthology series. Get something different every your Twilight Zones, your Outer Limits, your Tales of the Crypts, your Monsters, your Tales of the Dark Side. Was it Amazing Stories?
Amazing Stories, yeah.
Yeah, things like that. I love stuff like that. Hitchhiker, that was a good one.
All right. And dare we say it, the Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And
because that was always good. That was always good for that Saturday that let's just say sometimes that you were rewarded if you stayed up a little later on a Saturday night on cable.
For sure. For sure. All right, Hurricane says the original comics for Tales from the Crypt came out in the 1950s. The original movie came out in the late 70s. I keep wanting to say had Peter Cushing in it. TV series came out in 89, had 7 seasons. This is a series spawned 3 movies. I only remember 2. I could be forgetting one, but another movie that was kind of an anthology film. Tales from the Hood.
Never saw that one.
Very harder hitting than you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets serious by the end of it. It's kind of like it's one of those movies where this is all fun and games, and then it's just like, oh no, there's a point to this.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, okay, it's actually not a bad movie. I guess the kind of the current modern day equivalent would be the VHS films.
Yeah, those are some good. Those are good films.
Yeah,
especially the first one.
Yeah, I haven't seen them all. I definitely want to catch up on them. I thought VHS Beyond was interesting. I didn't know what the Justin Long section had to do with it, because I felt like that was, I couldn't figure out where a woman literally turning people into dogs had to do with alien invasion. But okay, you do you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean, sometimes it's a matter of taking an interesting or quote unquote interesting story. But yeah, the VH1, the VHS films, really, really a lot of fun. There was one called Southbound, which I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for. That had come out. That was pretty good. Trying to think of some others. Like I said, a lot of them were just like different VHS, just different versions of them. But like back in the 80s, they had some good ones. I can never remember the title of it. Had Emilio Estevez playing the video game.
Nightmares?
Yeah, Nightmares.
Yeah, Nightmares.
That's a good one too. Might have to bring some of those out on a Friday night this fall.
Yeah, we should.
Like, of course, the original Creepshow 2. Because like all the other they weren't Hammer films, but they like they would have like Peter Cushing or someone like that, and like Tales of Terror. Twice Told Tales.
Horror King says, fun fact, Friday the 13th of the series was originally called the 13th Hour, but the people involved with making it changed the name before it was released Friday the 13th. People involved with it essentially clickbaited everyone before clickbait was a thing. Yeah, because
Yeah,
when you say Friday the 13th, you do expect Jason to show up.
right.
Know?
Especially at that point.
Yeah.
I actually think it made more sense for like when Freddy's Nightmares. I thought that was an interesting thing. Have Freddy introduce a nightmare.
Hmm.
But yeah, Friday the 13th, it didn't match. Yeah, it just didn't match. It was a great series. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, just strangely titled.
And then one that comes to mind, not necessarily an anthology, but kind of related because it also had Robert Englund, was Nightmare Cafe.
Don't remember that one.
Don't know if you remember that one.
I'm looking up horror anthologies right now, just like trying to find the ones that I'm trying to remember. Vault of Horror was one back in '73. From Beyond the Grave, which had Peter Cushing. Of course, Trilogy of Terror, the Karen Black one.
Mm-hmm.
Tales from the Crypt here. Joan Collins, Peter Cushing were in it. House of Drip Blood, Night Gallery. I've got to go back and revisit a lot of these. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. Some great stuff. Great stuff. From way back when. Body Bags. That's another one I liked.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
That was Carpenter's.
Yeah, John Carpenter and Toby Hooper.
Yeah.
What about a carpenter?
Nothing computer. What about a carpenter?
Okay.
That just is so. I first like saying, I was like, "Who's in my apartment?" Oh Lord!
Oh yeah.
Of course, Trick or Treat. That's another.
Oh, how can I forget Trick or Treat?
Yeah, okay. I was like, I forgot Trick or Treat. That's a great one.
Oh, who just did that one? Was that you or Netter that just did like a Trick or Treat recently?
I think they might have done it last year.
Mm.
Didn't they do it didn't they have like a Halloween run day? Like I know they did it at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Did they do a Halloween one? Did I do it a few years ago? I'm trying to remember if I did or not. I might have. It's something I would do.
Don't come to me.
You can always do it again. Yeah.
Oh,
that's the one great thing. You don't have to like just only watch one film. You can watch several films as you go along. I can find out. I'll just do a search on my site. I know it's part of a Trick or Treat. Do. Nope, doesn't look like it. Unless I misspelled something.
Horror King says, personally, I think they should have stuck with the 13th hour because it's a better title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see. For those of you who don't know, Shudder has its own TV series, A Creep Show. It does. Yeah. So if anyone here has Shudder, I would suggest checking out Creep Show. I would say if you just get Shudder all together. Yeah, it's they were part of the price hike. I get it, but I tell you, I
price hike anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of expected.
Yeah,
they got to pay for the merchants, and But the thing that I like about Shudder, I mean, it has its drawbacks, the price hike being one of them. I think dropping Joe Bob Briggs was a mistake. But I think out of all of the streaming services, I think Shudder is the one that understands its audience the best.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, will put their movies on physical media. I mean, they just had the 10th anniversary box set that's out there now that actually does have one of the VHS movies on it, and has kind of a wide array of caveats in there, which is Damian McCarthy's movie. He has Hokum out right now. Skinamarink is in there, and A Violent Nature is in there.
I still gotta watch Skinamarink.
I'd be very curious to see what you think, because it's
get around to watching that.
It's not for everyone. It's very abstract,
right?
But I think it's interesting because it is so open to interpretation. I have my own theory about what's happening in that film. And there are people who go, well, it's not scary. There's no monster. I go, you sure about that?
I mean,
I think there is.
An effective movie doesn't need a monster.
No.
It just needs fear.
Yeah.
Anything can cause fear. I mean, it's easy to put a monster and put fear on it. It's the cause of the fear. But just to have someone afraid and you're not sure what they're afraid of, that would be interesting.
Horking says Oddity is a Shudder original movie that is filmed and made in County Cork here in Ireland, released on DVD not long after it came out on Shudder. Oddity is a really good movie as well. Again, Damian McCarthy. I haven't watched Caveat yet, and I need to do that. But because I kind of feel like I missed out on the first movie of kind of an indirect trilogy in a way. Because he does have this certain imagery that kind of is interwoven between all three films, especially that damn rabbit, that just keeps popping up. Yeah, Oddity is a good movie. I was a big fan of that one. I very highly recommend that one. This is a Shudder cost me €47, 88 cents a year. That's €3.99 a month if you break down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, actually.
No, it's not.
See, I think a lot of channels should be that much. Or me, I don't mind commercials. If someone says, well, you can get this for $10, but you'll have to watch commercials, or you can have commercials for like $25. I'm like, here's a tenner, give me the commercials. I don't mind it. It makes me feel like I'm watching regular television, which I don't mind. It just, it gives my brain a chance to relax.
All right.
That's another project I keep meaning to do, to make the Big Al Broadcasting Company. What my all-time fantasy broadcasting schedule would be of every TV series that's ever been what my primetime lineup would be. Yeah, try that one day. I keep meaning to do it. It's so daunting to sit there like go through 60 years of television.
Yeah, that's definitely a chunk.
It'd be a neat exercise. It'd be an interesting challenge video. I would just like do, I always like those days when you get the TV Guide fall preview.
Oh yeah,
I just love those. You get all the shots of TV shows that would last 3 episodes and disappear. But there was something like that in the days when they used to have the Saturday morning previews on like prime time. When all the new Saturday morning schedule was about to start with the new TV shows. Those were the good old days. The 70s.
All right. And on that note, speaking of classic television, here in a few minutes, Troy Pacelli is going to round out season 1 of Doctor Who. And, well,
sorry.
Well, so I suppose we should get everyone over there. So, Al, what do you have coming up?
What do I have coming up? Well, you never know when I'm going to drop a 10-word review. I got a new one out tonight for Monarch season 2. Of course, the next film with friends is this coming Saturday night at 10 p.m. We're going to be watching the Disney Pixar classic Up. And a week after that, on Friday night, with you, we're going to be finally getting around to watching Way, Way Out with Jerry Lewis. And then a week after that, on the Saturday night, it's going to be Tangled, the Rapunzel story. So that's kind of the next few weeks for Films with Friends. Looking forward to all those. You're going to be joining me for all those, God willing.
Right on. All right. As for myself, I do have the Mystery Movie Night podcast coming up on Tuesday night. That will be followed directly after by Live from Sparkwood 21, where Troy, Boomer, and Nutter and myself are going to finish up the second half of the season 2 premiere entitled May the Giant Be With You. All right. And Thursday, I am going to be joining Outlaw Bill for our Salute to the Troops, our countdown to Memorial Day. And our first movie is going to be Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson and starring Andrew Garfield. And of course, later on night, 7 p.m., my programming attractions, where you get to what I'm going to be up to next week, which is to be interesting because, well, you'll find out when we get there. So
you're robotic a little bit there, but
oh, okay. Can anybody hear me now?
Yeah, I'll hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here and send everybody over to Troy. Al, any last words before we close out the show?
I just want to thank you for having me tonight. I had a lot of fun. Always like just sitting here and chatting. And of course, everyone out there in the chat and anybody who listens later, I hope you have a great week. Hope you find something fun to watch as always, and just, try to enjoy life out there, and just take care. God bless all of you.
All right. And as I always say at the end of every broadcast, thank you once again, Al, for joining us. Thank you to everyone in the chat, both here and on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Thank you for anybody who might have been lurking in the background. Perfectly fine. Just as long as you enjoyed the show. Hit the like, share out the stream. Subscribe to Al's channel if you have not yet done so. And if you like the content that you see here on my channel, please give me a sub as well. Memberships are available. And as I always say at the end of every broadcast from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this